And don't forget to order your copy of Football Game Plan's latest book, Stiff Arming Football Myths, an excellent book that you can find on our website at footballgameplan.com/books, available in both PDF as well as paperback form.
Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our NFL Week 2 preview between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens. Now let's take a look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with the Steelers.
For the Steelers in this ball game, they have to set the edge versus the outside zone. That's something that they struggled with last week versus Cleveland, which is why the Browns were able to get back in this game. And they're going to see a lot of outside zone versus Baltimore. And being able to get weak side pressure will be key in this ball game. Going against a Gary Kubiak coached offense, you know you're going to see your fair share of naked boots and waggles coming front side. But again, the weak side pressure, in my opinion, will be ample opportunities to get Joe Flacco on the football and keep him going front side, which then would allow you to dictate where you want him to go with the football. And you have to find ways to get Dre Archer involved in the offense. Just another added weapon for your offensive attack, and gives the Ravens one more thing to worry about. And here's a guy that can do it as a receiver, as a runner, and also in the return game. And for the Ravens in this ball game, Joe Flacco's pitch count, so to speak, will be important. I don't like the Joe Flacco that has to throw 60-plus times a game, but 30 times, maybe 28 times, that's ideal, especially when you're able to run the football. And they will have to get that going this week versus Pittsburgh. And they have to continue to play assignment-sound defense. What I came away most impressed with versus Cincinnati and that explosive offense was how sound the Baltimore Ravens played defensively at every level. That has to carry over this week versus Pittsburgh. And if they want to get Joe Flacco and those receivers involved in the passing game, it's going to have to be with a quick passing game. You don't have time versus the Steelers defense for long developing routes. That football has to come out quick. So I think that could also help Flacco get into a groove early, and that way you can minimize that pitch count, so that way you don't have to worry about throwing the football a lot throughout the course of the game. I look for the quick passing game to be huge in this matchup versus Pittsburgh.
I like what I saw last week from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I think this game versus Baltimore, they can attack the front side of the formation in the passing game to generate a big play down the field. Let me show you what we have drawn up here. We're just going to draw the coverage up. We're not going to worry about the fronts, but we have the running back offset. We're going to play off this linebacker here. We're going to read him. He's going to be the key in determining where we go with the football. So when we have backside, we're going to have a post trying to influence that free safety. We're going to run a speed out by the slot right here over the backer. And what we're going to do front side, we have 3-on-3 here, running back, tight end, wide receiver. What we're going to do, we're going to run a deep comeback route right here by the outside receiver, trying to see what this strong safety is going to do, because with the tight end, we're running a deep in route. And now his job is to read man or zone. Either he's going to settle down versus zone or keep going versus man, but that's potentially your big play. That's number one. So now what we're doing, we're seeing how well this backer will cover, or where this backer will cover. Either he's going to try to wall off this tight end on the in route, which means the shoot route is open to the outside, and which means that, you know, the strong safety is going to drop down, so that way you have to go here, or you can hit the skinny in this window right here on the backside. Or if this backer decides to run with the shoot, strong safety decides to run here, now you have this for sure you can go with. So again, it's about reading coverages on the fly, attacking the strong side of the formation, and it's just one way out of many the Pittsburgh Steelers can attack the Baltimore Ravens secondary in the passing game this week. I believe the Baltimore Ravens can have some success running the football versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm going to show you how they can do so. One play I like a lot is the counter play. We're going to show you how we're going to run it weak side. Normally, you're going to see the counter coming strong side where the tight end is located, but we're going to bring it back weak side, and I'm going to show you how to we're going to block this up. So what we're going to do on the weak side, we're going to pull the play side guard, the backside guard. He's going to come around and kick out that defensive end. So what we have front side, we're going to have the tackle work up, down, and up to the backer. We're going to have the play side guard and center combo block the nose with the guard going up to get the backer. So now you have two inside backers blocked, and what we're going to do with the fullback, he's going to take that counter step, come up, and his job is to take this weak side linebacker out of the play. And we're going to have the backside guard, like I said before, which is now coming play side. He's pulling, kicking out that defensive end, kicking him out there, that 5 technique. We're going to have, again, work back, counter, in the hole, hopefully run into daylight. Receivers are going to go get their next threat. He has to make one miss. So again, you can see how you can run the counter front side. You can see how you can run it weak side. I'm a big fan of running weak side, and I think right here in this alignment, it allows you to be successful and put your running back in position where he can beat one guy, which is the free safety. So again, it's imperative that they run the football this week versus Pittsburgh, and one play like the counter play could lead them to success on the ground.
The X factor in this game for Pittsburgh will be Le'Veon Bell's versatility. We saw a lot of his skill sets last week versus the Cleveland Browns, which was very impressive. His vision, his balance, his agility, and also his receiving skills. And I think his receiving skills as well as his ability to block and pick up the blitz will be important this week to team success. So look for his versatility to be on full display versus the Ravens. And for the Ravens, I look at their offensive line. Last week versus Cincinnati, I think they did a fine job outside of a couple of plays. And in order to knock off a Steelers defense led by Dick LeBeau, the Hall of Fame defensive coordinator, you have to be able to recognize and pick up the blitz. So you're going to see a lot of different looks, a lot of exotic looks, a lot of creative stunts, and they have to be able to pick those up in order to have success throwing the football. I like Baltimore in this ball game. Last week versus Cincinnati, I believe the Ravens played an excellent game defensively. They weren't surprised by the different personnel groupings or the different formations that the Bengals threw at them, and they're going to see a lot of the same things versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, what's important offensively, they have to get the passing game going. I think what you'll see is them shrink the opportunities for Joe Flacco by running the football, having him go with a quick game and take those timely shots deep down the field off of play action. So you won't see 65 passes coming from number 5, but I do believe the Ravens will win this ball game in a very tough AFC North matchup.
What's up, fantasy football fans? I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. For all of your starts, sits, fantasy football notes, news, and tidbits, tune into our podcast, Football Game Plan Starting Lineup, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on our Football Game Plan Radio Network, which is located at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan.
And don't forget to check out Football Game Plan's NFL Wraparound live every Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time at blogtalkradio.com/footballgameplan, where we give you all of our late-minute and last-minute notes, news, and tidbits and thoughts on each and every game on the NFL schedule. And I also want to give a huge shout-out to Raven fan forums and Steeler fan forums for always showing Football Game Plan support.